Hey everyone, today we're looking at the Anne Pro 2, a mechanical keyboard at an entry-level price. I guess you knew that already. But did you know how bad this is for you? That's why I bought the Anne Pro 2. So today we'll look at the keyboard itself and find out if it saved these hands. Let's get into it. During the pandemic, someone I know started suffering from chronic hand pain. I'm not going to go into the details of why or how, but that got me worried about my own hands. I like my hands, and I don't want them to suffer the same fate. I want to make it as easy as possible for them to type so that they don't suffer. My everyday keyboard of choice is either the built-in Mac keyboard or the wireless version of it. Both are very similar in size and totally unergonomic, if there's such a word. And to think that I spend 8+ hours of my day typing on it, not a good look for my hands, is it? This led me to a couple of weekends where I researched mechanical keyboards, and I landed on a couple of different options. The first one is the Anne Pro 2, which we're looking at today, and the second one is the Moonlander from ZSA. Personally, I wanted to go with the Moonlander, but there is a 5-week wait time for you to actually get your hands on one. So I went with the Anne Pro 2 as a stopgap. The Anne Pro 2 has a built-in battery. You can use it wired or wireless. It's got double-shot PBT keycaps, custom RGB lighting, but you probably knew that already. If you don't, Google it. I'm here to tell you what it's actually like to use the product over a long period of time. I don't want to just read you the spec sheet. This is much more than that. The Anne Pro 2 checked all the boxes for me. It is reasonably priced at around £100. I was able to pick which switches I wanted for it, the Cherry MX Reds. It had some added perks such as Bluetooth connectivity, along with being able to connect it to multiple devices, and most importantly, it was on Amazon Prime. I should mention that this is a 60% keyboard, and if we compare it to the Mac layout, it has 4 less keys: the backtick, a function, and the up and down arrows, or the left and right arrows, whichever way you look at it. All of those are really important for a developer, but the Anne Pro 2 makes it up in a few different ways. You can customize 2 extra layers of keys to make up for the fact that it doesn't match your existing setup. Now, what I've done is combined with the function key, used WASZ for my arrow keys and function plus Z for my backtick. They also offer a really cool feature where you can tap these keys to turn them into arrow keys. This would be my go-to option if it worked on a more consistent basis. I find that it picks up some key taps better than others. So although I appreciate that this feature's there, I wouldn't rely on this feature, especially if your workflow relies heavily on using the arrow keys. It's got a slightly higher profile than the Mac keyboards, so I use the glorious compact wrist pad to support my palms when typing. Yeah, that's right, I use it to rest my palms, not wrists. As you can see, I have my board connected via the USB cable. I find the Bluetooth connectivity a bit fiddly. It works, don't get me wrong, you can connect it to multiple devices, but for my workflow, I only ever use it with my laptop, so I don't bother with Bluetooth. Apart from that, it's a great keyboard. It'll signal through whatever you type perfectly well, and it just works. This brings me to the reason I bought this keyboard. My hands. How are they? They're good. Thanks for asking. The keyboard helps, but that isn't the only thing that I changed. A good chair, a monitor, a table have played a big part too. So don't expect buying a keyboard to solve all your aches and pains. But it is a big part of the puzzle. If you do get this keyboard, then I'd recommend that you spend some time researching which switches you want to go for, because these aren't hot swappable, so you get what you get, unless you're good at soldering and DIY, in which case you're already making your own keyboards, right? Get off this video. So if you're in the market for a reasonably priced mechanical keyboard, then I'd recommend you check this one out before looking at the more expensive options out there. That's it from me on this one. I'll see you in the next one.